Dear visitor, read your chart. This channel is designed to help you do so. By doing so, you'll be able to decipher your own chart's hidden meanings and live your life to the fullest. If you want to learn more about astrology and comprehend the hidden science in plain and straightforward words, please subscribe. In this video, we'll discuss how the sun's influence on the Cancer Ascendant in your natal chart manifests in several houses. A Cancer Ascendant indicates that the number 4 is mentioned in your first house, as seen. Let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in the first house and you have a Cancer Ascendant. It implies that a person's personality was shaped significantly by their family, particularly their father. Father instilled family values in his children. They take great pride in their ancestry. Additionally, they develop strong emotional ties to their families. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in a Cancer Ascendant's second house. It reveals a person who derives great pride and ego from family. They take great pride in their ancestry. Family members, in particular the father, were not employed by the government or held any positions of power. These people might waste their fortune by flaunting it to others in order to enhance their egos as the sun burns the house they are in. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates when the sun is in the third house of a Cancer Ascendant. It depicts a person whose resources are provided by their father. Father is one who helped with the business's setup. The way they interact with people is entirely modeled after father. Father has personally experienced many difficulties and challenges in life, as the planet of creativity is located in the house of skills and hobbies. This is a position of exceptionally creative people. The fact that the sun is a hot planet and tends to burn household items also indicates that your relationship with your first younger sibling is not particularly nice. Neither you nor them are attempting to control the other. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates when the sun is in the fourth house of a Cancer Ascendant. It is disabled there, especially if the degree of disability is close to actual. In this situation, the person will be unable to properly save until midlife since the Lord of Savings is weak. It also results in a tense relationship with the father. Mother assumes the position of the father, but even though she maintains frequent touch, she still does her best to provide. Although a person in a position of power may not receive much assistance from them, this position is beneficial for creative professions. Sun and Venus both stand for innovation because Sun is in Libra and Venus rules Libra. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in a Cancer Ascendant's fifth house. Your prosperity will come from your education because the sun is the symbol of education and the fifth house is the house of education. Given that the sun is in the sign of Scorpio, it is likely that your father or your family has experienced numerous life-altering events. This occupation demonstrates a person who is very interested in the mysterious and occult aspects of life. Now, let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in a Cancer Ascendant's sixth house. Given that the sun is a symbol of both health and the heart, this location undoubtedly indicates a career in medicine. Here, the sun burns out diseases and illnesses just like the sun burns items connected to the house where it is sitting. It implies that by battling illnesses and winning, these people acquire their money. These people achieve authority through mending people because the sun is also the planet of authority and Sagittarius is a loving sign. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates when the sun is in the seventh house of a Cancer Ascendant. This indicates that there may be conflicts or barriers between you and your family, especially your father because the sun represents your father. When it comes to who you should marry, your father imposes his will over yours. Sun is a symbol for ego, so it implies that your relationship suffers as a result of ego conflicts. It also demonstrates how much money is spent on the spouse. Your father and relatives still interfere with marriage on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in a Cancer Ascendant's 8th house. It demonstrates how many significant life events impacted your relationship with your father. It offers a profession in the business sector or in scientific research. But the relationship with the father is rocky and there is a chance of physical fights. Sun in the 8th house also causes low self esteem. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates when the sun is in the 9th house of a Cancer Ascendant. It demonstrates that all of the religious and spiritual understanding came from your father. Father gave his son the ideal values, which later became a source of riches. Persons who have excellent father child relationships respect their father's lessons. It undoubtedly demonstrates that a career is a higher education field. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates if the sun is in the 9th house of a Cancer Ascendant. It demonstrates that money unquestionably originates from a position of power. Your field of choice has nothing to do with your father, your government job, or any other position of authority. A father can play a significant role in politics or the government. After a certain age, this position will encourage a person to assume leadership roles. Exalted Sun in the 10th house indicates that a person will eventually hold a position of influence. Next, let's talk about what your chart indicates if the Sun is in a Cancer Ascendant's 11th house. It demonstrates that wealth derives from father figures or fathers. This posture squanders any chance of benefiting from older siblings. Any creative endeavor will be rewarded because the sun is a Venus ruled sign. The main drawback is that there might not be any older siblings or that the relationship with them might be strained. Now let's talk about what your chart indicates when the sun is in the 12th house of a Cancer Ascendant. Thus, it is a neutral indicator first and foremost. It demonstrates that a person's sense of self and personality only developed after he immigrated to a foreign country. It indicates that someone has a career in other countries or MNCs in the communication sector. It depicts a person working for the government abroad as a diplomat or spokesperson. It also demonstrates how fatherly companionship is lost in early life for a variety of reasons. I appreciate you watching this video and I hope you learned something new today.